Good Monday makers. In today's community build roundup, we're going to be checking out a garden enclosure, a fishing rod rack, a tool extension, a bird feeding station, a hot water heater cover, and an adaptive tricycle. All kinds of really awesome builds. Let's jump right in and check them out. This first one comes from Rex, and he made this really unique garden enclosure. And I say it's unique because usually, whenever we see a garden enclosure, we see it's a rectangle or cube design. But this is kind of special in the fact that it's more of kind of draped over the frame that he made. So what he did is you can see on each side of the garden that he's got here, it looks like he had some large diameter tubes already in the ground, and then he has 3/4 inch EMT conduit just kind of resting inside those tubes, and they go up, and it looks like he created kind of like a telephone pole style, kind of end to this. And basically, it's just a horizontal pipe with 45-degree connectors that go to the vertical pieces, as you can see here. And then he's got another angled pipe, I think, with just a T connector that goes to the ground. And he just repeated that same design on the other side of the framework, as you can see over here. And then basically just got some bird netting, and it's kind of just draped over the ends of the frame here. And he also has some, I think he said, some paracord going between each side of the frame. And as you can see, there's just 4 or 5 strings running from one side of the frame to the other, and then the bird netting is just draped over top of it. And this is a really unique design, but he said it's working out great, and I think it looks awesome. So thanks so much for sharing that, Rex. Really great build. Next is a build from Jeremy, and this is really cool. So he's got this truck bed, as you can see, and he's got one of the camper tops that you commonly see on trucks. And basically, he built a framework that attaches to the roof of the truck. It looks like he's got some kind of a mount that goes through the roof, or maybe it's just bolted to the underside of the canopy here, or the camper top. And basically looks like it's U-bolted, just 3/4 inch EMT conduit U-bolted to the underside of the camper top. And he just built this framework, kind of a skeleton, if you will, and basically just added some T connectors going down. And then he drilled all the way through the conduit and added these fishing rod holders to the conduit by just, adding a bolt through the fishing rod holders and all the way through the conduit, and then secured in place. And then the fishing rods just sit inside of the rack, as you can see here. And just a really great solution, really great use of space, because this elevates the fishing rods and allows you to be able to use the gear underneath here. You can use all of this area for this storage down here for gear and whatever else you might want. If you've done any fishing, when you get a whole mess of rods and reels and tackle boxes and everything, it can be kind of a mess, and this will keep it organized and out of the way. So really cool. Thanks so much for sharing this, Jeremy. Really great project. Next up is a really simple project from Randy. He said that he made a tool extension arm by basically just clamping a 45-degree connector to this scraper here. And then he's just got a piece of conduit sticking out the other end of it. And he made this so he could knock off like mud daubers or hornets or wasps, any kind of nest that might be up high on like a second story roof eave. He can just use this long extension to be able to knock the nest off of the roof, which is really cool and a really clever solution to this problem. And it's really simple, but really cool nonetheless. So thanks so much, Randy, for sharing that. It's great to see it in the community with another great hack. Next up is Fred's bird feeding station. And basically, he just has a single vertical pipe that goes up from his deck, and then a horizontal pipe that's connected with a T connector. And on this, he's got different bird feeders attached. It looks like two like bowl types down here, and then a normal, not normal, I guess, but just like the usual bird feeder that you would see on this side with bird seed. And he's got like an upside down funnel here to keep the squirrels from getting onto it. He said he's having some problems with squirrels getting to it. They like it as much as the birds, unfortunately. But what's really cool, he said that he just kind of left this T connector a little loose, and that allows him to basically swivel the horizontal pipe. And while he's standing on his deck, he can swivel that pipe and add the bird feed inside of the feeders without having to use a ladder to climb up there. He can just swivel it around, which is really cool and a great solution. So thanks so much, Fred, for sharing this. Really great project. Next project is from Gary, and this is a really cool one. So basically, he's got a finished basement that they have some exercise equipment in, and he said that they had kind of an eyesore with this water heater and this whole corner. Basically, just wanted to cover it up. So he just made this framework with 3/4 inch EMT and maker pipe connectors. I can see an adjustable angle flange to attach the framework to the wall. Then he's got a few 90-degree connectors to basically make the cube shape. And I guess it's more of an L that just kind of sits in the corner and covers it. and then he just used some of the, you've probably seen this like faux brick panels you can get. I think you can get it at Lowe's and Home Depot. I've seen it used for all kinds of different things, but this is a really great use of it. He just secured that to the framework, I think, with one hole straps. And as you can see, it looks really cool and just cleans up this corner of the basement. And yeah, it looks nice. And he's even got some exercise equipment hanging off of it with just some hooks, which is really awesome. So thanks so much, Gary, for sharing this. Really great project. Last but definitely not least this week is a project from Patrick, and this is an adaptive tricycle that he made. He said that if you were to buy an adaptive tricycle like this, it would cost anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000, and there's usually like an 8 to 12 week delivery window, which is already a pain because you have to pay all this money, but then you got to wait forever for it. So he decided to take it into his own hands and make his own version. And what he did was he found a tricycle on Amazon, and I think it was like $300, so a lot cheaper than buying the fab solution already put together. And basically just bought this tricycle and then found a seat kit that basically adds this seat to the back of the just the main like normal bike seat that you normally see. It adds a back to that, and what he did was he made a framework with EMT conduit and maker pipe connectors, as you can see here, that adapts to the frame. And kind of here you can see a good angle of it. It just bolts into the rails of the tricycle, and basically he just bent EMT conduit and it goes up underneath the seat, and then there's a crossbar with T connectors, and from there he was able to add another kind of seat post that allows the back of the seat to be connected there. And then underneath, he's got this framework bolted to the underneath of the basket, and then he added a handle to the back of the tricycle using, I think, let's see if we can see here, using the telescoping clamp. And yeah, here you go. The T connector just attaches to this bar, and 3/4 inch EMT goes up, and then there's a telescoping clamp on top of that with 1/2 inch EMT conduit inside of it, and that just goes up into a T connector, and this adds a handle that he can hold on to be able to push his daughter around. So this is just a really great project. He was able to save a bunch of money and get this adaptive tricycle, which is just really great to hear. We always love stories like this. Thanks, Patrick, for sharing this project, and thanks to everybody for posting your builds. As always, we love seeing them, and if you want to check out any of these in more detail, they'll all be linked down below. Thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.